Hello friends, welcome back to Shell Cottage. Today we're diving into a topic that taps into the deeper and more vulnerable side of our favorite boy wizard, Harry Potter. Harry's fear is deeply rooted in his past and is a reoccurring theme throughout the series. It definitely adds depth to the character and makes his journey all the more relatable and compelling. We all know Harry as the brave, selfless hero who faced down Lord Voldemort multiple times. But like all of us, he had his own set of fears and anxieties. As we count down Harry's top 3 biggest fears, remember it's all about our hero's ability to confront and overcome those fears. That ability is what makes him our hero and keeps him from a much darker path. And let's explore what kept Harry awake at night. At number 3, Dementors and fear itself. Let's talk about perhaps the most iconic of Harry's fears, Dementors. In Defense Against the Dark Arts class, Harry faces down a boggart, which will immediately turn into the very thing that a witch or wizard fears most. As we know, Harry's boggart turned into a Dementor in Lupin's office, which surprised Professor Lupin. Quote, "I'm very impressed. That suggests that what you fear most of all is fear itself." This is very wise. These dark, cloaked creatures represent the embodiment of fear itself, sucking all of the happiness and hope from their surroundings. To Harry, Dementors are particularly terrifying because they force him to relive his most traumatic memories, including the death of his parents. This fear is paralyzing. Harry literally passes out from these traumatic memories. Our focus determines our reality, and Dementors shift your focus to nothing but the very worst of memories. They symbolize all of the pain and loss that Harry has experienced over the years. Now, during the Sorcerer's Stone, when Harry looked into the Mirror of Erised, he saw his parents. He wasn't alone anymore because the mirror shows the user his or her heart's deepest desires. Harry wanted to belong. He wanted a family, and the Dementors forced his mind to remember a time when his family was completely ripped away. Alright, so we've established that Harry fears fear. Now let's get a bit more specific. Number 2, becoming Lord Voldemort. Let's delve into a fear that's less obvious but also just as significant. The fear of becoming like Voldemort. Throughout the series, Harry grapples with the unsettling similarities between himself and the Dark Lord. Both are orphans, both are parcel mouths, and both have a connection through their wands and Harry's infamous scar. This fear of a shared destiny is most evident in the Chamber of Secrets, when Harry worries that he might be the heir of Slytherin. It's a fear that continues to haunt him as he learns more about the Horcruxes and his own connection to Lord Voldemort. He literally seems to share the Dark Lord's mind. He was almost sorted into House Slytherin because the Sorting Hat could sense a piece of Lord Voldemort. How would that not terrify a young boy? Each year at Hogwarts, Harry learns about another way in which he and the Dark Lord are connected. At one point, the other students are starting to get suspicious of Harry themselves. I mean, how did Cedric Diggory die? They didn't see it, and the Ministry of Magic doesn't believe Harry. Why should they believe him? And we don't really start to get answers until after the events of the Order of the Phoenix. Thankfully, the Dark Lord cannot possess Harry. Why? Because they're different. They're not the same. They're not similar in any fashion. Harry is full of love and compassion. As Dumbledore reiterates over and over again, this is a story about choices. Despite the prophecy and all the connections between Harry Potter and Lord Voldemort, Harry has a choice. He has known terrible hardships. He's been abused. He's been alone and outcast, but he also has known love and friendship, and he chooses to focus on those. The Sorting Hat gave him a choice, and Harry Potter continually makes the right choice over and over again, seemingly against insurmountable odds. Yet in every way, he proves to be a true Gryffindor. Alright, let's finish this off with the fear that drives the whole series. Number 1, the loss of loved ones. Another deep-seated fear for Harry is losing the people he loves. Harry lost his parents to Lord Voldemort when he was just a baby. That forced him to live with his Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon, who were at numerous times neglectful and abusive. Having lost his parents at such a young age, Harry forms incredibly strong bonds with friends and mentors. The thought of losing friends is a constant source of anxiety. This fear is a driving force behind many of his actions throughout the series, pushing him to protect those that he cares about at all cost. During the Order of the Phoenix, the death of his godfather, Sirius Black, reinforces his fear of loss. Harry had longed for his parents. He wanted to belong to a real family. So finding out that he had a godfather meant the world to Harry. But having all of that stripped away again by Lord Voldemort's Death Eaters was a terrible experience. Harry blames himself for Sirius's death, feeling that his actions led to his godfather's murder, whereas Dumbledore blames himself. It's a complete tragedy. Now, as we finish the series, Harry consistently fears for the safety of his close friends, Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley, as well as other members of the Order of the Phoenix and Dumbledore's army. This fear grows to a point where Harry doesn't even feel comfortable continuing his relationship with Ginny Weasley. He literally breaks up with her so that he can protect her from his enemies. All of this loss and fear of further loss takes a great toll on Harry. When he goes to meet the resurrected souls of his loved ones in the Forbidden Forest, Harry apologizes to them because he feels responsible for their death. As we know, none of this is Harry's fault. Voldemort is the cause of so much pain and sorrow for Harry and his friends and family, and so many others. Harry still has so much to live for, and yet he lost so much. All of this new happiness that he's gained is now being stripped away again by Voldemort. So in the end, Harry is not only determined, but he's actually at peace with the decision to join the dead, sacrifice himself, and hopefully play one last major role in defeating the Dark Lord and protecting his loved ones. But thankfully, as we know, Lord Voldemort makes a massive mistake by using Harry Potter's blood to recreate his own body, and ends up actually tethering Harry to life by reinforcing Lily's sacrificial magic. Harry had a lot to deal with as a youngster, and each of these fears make him more relatable to us, showing us that even the bravest of individuals may have their moments of vulnerability. But despite those fears, Harry demonstrates immense courage and a willingness to sacrifice himself for others. He fought his fears, he overcame them, and in the end, he showed us what real bravery and determination can do. Let me know what I missed. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow for more Harry Potter content.